making Magic the Gathering commanders for regular show.
How you doing, Kamook heads? Today we are going to be making another list, or I should rather say a part 2 to our last list of regular show commanders. Alright, so I don't got much to say, honestly. We're just gonna get into it, but just like and subscribe and, you know, comments if you want to see some other, like if you want to make a suggestion of what franchise we should make Magic the Gathering cards of next. Some guy has suggested we do Rick and Morty. I'll put his username up right there, the comment and everything. And we'll do that. We're gonna do that soon, but the next video, hint, is Phineas and Ferb, alright? And right after that, I'm sure we'll get to Rick and Morty. And after that, any other suggestions you might want to make. So go ahead and comment those and like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Now let's get right into it, alright? So we're gonna start with Rigby's alternate commander. Like I said, I made a merging of Mordecai and Rigby like as one commander, and now I'm doing them both as two separate commanders that do have partner, like they can get together. So this is Rigby Slacker for 1 black and a red legendary creature, or raccoon of course. Whenever exactly 2 creatures you control attack, create 2 food tokens. So this is basically like the flavor here is just to represent how like Rigby and Mordecai, whenever they go out, they get food. Like a lot of episodes are based on Mordecai and Rigby just trying to go get like the latest yummy food. Like how was it? It was like the death sandwiches, the cheese, the grilled cheese from Cheezers. What else? That like super burrito. No, it was a super burger actually. That only came like once every 1,000 years. Like they do screw around and get food a lot. So I thought that a food theme would be pretty good for these two. So yeah, it has dudes, which is basically partner. You may have 2 commanders if both commanders have dudes. So yeah, that's so that they can be partners with each other, even though they're not on the same card. And he has 0 attack, 3 and he has 0 power, 3 toughness because his punches are weak as heck. Alright, so I basically put his color, like Mordecai and Rigby together were actually they were red and green, but I made Rigby black and red because he's low-key a terrible friend, and without Mordecai, he's a worse person, honestly. A lot of the problems in the earlier seasons are like based, like they only happen because Rigby ends up going off on his own and screwing something up, and Mordecai comes in and fixes the mess. So without Mordecai, Rigby is worse off. Up next we have Mordecai, also a slacker, for 3 generic, a green, and a blue. It's basically just, is that Simic? Yeah, that's Simic. Blue to Gruel to Simic is basically just to say like, without Rigby, Mordecai is a more like well put together person. He's more like level-headed. So when you do add Rigby in, you get that red color from Rigby, and you only keep that wild side of Mordecai, that being the green here. So I hope that was translated pretty well. So yeah, Mordecai Slacker, legendary creature bird. Whenever you attack with exactly 2 legendary creatures, him attacking with Rigby, sacrifice a food, them eating the food, and search your library for basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. And that's Mordecai basically picking up the slack. That's him doing the work in the park, where Rigby typically would not. So yeah, these two synergize with each other pretty well. Mordecai will get you some lands, Rigby will get you the food that you need to sacrifice, and yeah, there you go. And it, of course, also has dudes, the partner for Mordecai and Rigby. Dudes being, you can have 2 commanders if both have dudes. And his flavor text says, not cool dude, which he says a couple times in this series. And I made him a 2/6. We probably could buff his power a little bit, but I think 2/6 is fine. It's just fine. Up next we have Starla, hot mess for 2 generic, 2 green. I was thinking when I was making this creature, how can I get this to synergize with Muscle Man and not many other creatures? And either way, it's gonna synergize with other ones. I didn't want to make it like specifically call out the Muscle Man card or make them like partners or something like that, but I went with this. Okay, legendary creature, human. Starla is technically a human. I know, it's wild, but she is. She has trample. Whenever you cast another green spell, perpetually double Starla's power. So if Starla's already on the battlefield and then like Mitch, Muscle Man comes out, you get to double Starla's power. So yeah, there you go. And then the flavor text reads, "My man needs me," which is doesn't actually make much sense because Starla would already be on the battlefield and then Muscle Man would come. So maybe if it was the other way around, like Muscle Man's on the battlefield, then it doesn't matter. Up next we have Sensei Death Kwon Do Master for 2 generic, 1 red, a green, and a black. Legendary creature, human. Whenever you sacrifice a food, destroy target non-modified creature. Low-key, this card might be slightly OP. Now, what it doesn't do is actually create any of the foods. It doesn't create any of them. But if you do have a bunch and like an easy way to sack them, like in like a Tolivar deck or something. Is that Tolivar? I'm thinking of, or no, Corvold, I think. Yeah, Corvold. I have the Corvold card right here. Yeah, and can't see it too well, but if you sacrifice it, if you throw that in a Corvold deck and you're just pumping out food tokens and then like sacrificing them, like you can wipe somebody's board like very easily. Yeah, they're the same colors. I kind of wish I had made it like maybe cost 6 mana rather than 5, only because yeah, this could put this in the right deck and you can board wipe like almost every turn. You know, anything your opponents cast, if you're able to sacrifice enough foods, you keep generating them, pumping foods, getting rid of them, getting value, then yeah, it could easily wipe somebody out. So, or wipe out all their creatures. Anyway, his flavor text reads, "The pelvic thrust of death." That is one of my personal favorites, and everyone should know what a pelvic thrust is. Yeah, it's like the cracking motion, you know. Alright, so he's a 4/5, and that's all there is for him. Oh, the flavor. Did I not explain the flavor? Okay. So Death Kwon Do, like to eat a Death Kwon Do sandwich, you have to be wearing the mullet and some cut off short jeans or something like that. And I think that's it. And if you don't eat it that way, then you straight up die. So whenever you sacrifice a food, i.e. eat that food, eat the Death Kwon Do sandwich, destroy target non-modified creature. Destroy a creature that doesn't have any type of aura, +1/+1 counter, any type of enchantment on it, or equipment, i.e. a creature without that's not wearing the proper clothes that you need to eat a Death Kwon Do sandwich. Alright, if you know Magic the Gathering and regular show, those two pretty niche shows or things, then I'm sure that you understand the flavor here. Next we have Mr. Maylord, Boss's Boss, for 2 generic, a white and a black. Legendary creature, I put mutant because I didn't know what the heck he was. The wiki said Lollipop Man, and that just felt wrong. So, whenever a legendary creature attacks, create a treasure token. If a legendary employee attacks, create 2 treasure tokens instead. I'm rich, I'll just buy another limo, reads his flavor text. This is basically just to say that like the park workers are creating revenue for him. Yeah, whenever an employee like works, he gets a little bit of money. Mr. Maylord is rich in the regular show canon, so yeah. Attack with a bunch of little legendary creatures. You want to do some legendary tribal or some employee tribal. There you go. That's what you get. All right. So you can create a large, any amount of, you could create a lot of treasure tokens and be able to cast some spells that might be a little bit harder, like also a little bit of Wooburg spells off those treasure tokens. So yeah, I would definitely throw this in that, and if I was making a Commander Pops deck, like, what was it? Worldbreaker Pops deck, then this would definitely be in there, along with all the other employees. Next we have Exit 9B for 4 generic, 2 black. Legendary sorcery. Return all creatures your opponents control from their graveyards to their respective battlefields. Whenever a creature dies this turn, its controller loses 2 life. Alright, so the regular show episode titled Exit 9B was actually, it was an episode, like I think it was season 4 or 5 or something like that, where every like villain that Mordecai and Rigby have ever like defeated came back from, like, I'm assuming hell. I mean, look at that portal in the back there, and decided to attack them. And then Mordecai and Rigby proceeded, alongside like the other members of the park, of course, to beat them all up again and actually manage to win. So using a bunch of time travel shenanigans and stuff like that. So this, like clearly this is supposed to like harp on that, like bringing all your opponents like creatures back, and then hopefully you're holding a board wipe in your hand after this. Like you bring them back and then you destroy them all, so their controllers lose a ton of life. Like this could be an easy like game winner if you combo this with a how does it go? I think it is a blasphemous act. Yeah, combo that with a blasphemous act, or that one that like the white version of blasphemous act that just straight up destroys them instead of dealing 13 damage to them. Dude, combo this with something like that and you just win the game instantly, especially if your opponents had a lot of creatures in their graveyards. Yeah, you could. This is like you play this and then board wipe and you're honestly golden. Here we have the first legendary land I've made. I will probably be making more. I'm gonna make another Adventure Time video later, much later down the line, because there's a lot of characters I didn't get to that I want to get to, and I'm thinking about making a treehouse as a legendary land. But for now, I did the park. The park is a legendary land that taps for 2 and adds 2 green to your mana pool for each employee that you control. And the flavor text reads, "This job sucks," which I think Mordecai says or something like that, or maybe Wrigley. Either one of them might have said it. Skips could have said that shit. I'm joking. He probably wouldn't. But yeah, there's no real flavor behind it. I mean, I guess the employees work in the park, rake leaves and stuff like that, and keep the grounds and stuff. But yeah, this would be going straight into your park tribal deck, your employee tribal deck, and yeah, I like it. Dude, guys, feel free to make these cards in real life. I think they're mostly, like, they're balanced for the most part. They're balanced. So if you want to print them out, go ahead, bro. Be my guest. You are free to. But low-key, Magic, if you're looking, if you want to print them out, yo, you guys are going to have to pay me. All right? You guys are going to have to pay me. Or give me a job. I'd actually prefer the job. All right, now up next, we have Tecmo, the Techno Master. For 1 blue, 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 blue. Legendary artifact creature, human cyborg. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, draw a card, and at the beginning of your end step, if you've drawn 7 or more cards this turn, gain control of target artifact. Elevate keyboard is his flavor text, because when he's hacking, which is like his main ability is to hack, which is kind of reflected in the ability. He can like keep elevating the keyboard to like, I don't even know what it does. I don't know how it helps, but that's just what he does. That's what he does. So this is basically just supposed to show that like he's hacking you. Like if you draw like a bunch of cards, like if you put in the effort, then you can gain control or steal something from the internet or steal an artifact. And everyone's running artifacts. Like everyone's gonna have a soul ring. Okay. This, I'm not sure if I would play this as my commander, because it does rely on your opponents having like good artifacts. But if they do happen to, then boom, yeah, you get to steal 1 per turn. But you do have to draw a decent amount. You have to draw 7 cards every single turn for 1 artifact. Maybe it isn't the best. Maybe it's not the best creature. But throw this in a 99 of something else, you'll probably have a hard time casting it if it's not mono blue. So yeah, maybe it is a commander, but it's not all my cards can be broken. I think this one is fine. Maybe I would take off a blue mana looking back. So all right, that's Tecmo. It skips his friend. Up next we have Gary, King of Synthos. This is a card I had a very tough time designing, so I ended up giving up. Because Gary is actually designed over. Gary is based on David Bowie, you know, and David Bowie was in a show, or no, it was a movie called The Labyrinth that my dad made me watch when I was little. So I was just like, yo, you know what? Let's just lean into that. So legendary creature, demigod Symphysian, because he's from Synthos, or what I don't even know what do you call him. Whenever you cast a legendary spell, create a tapped token copy of Maze of Ith Mystifying Maze, or Maze's End, which are 3 labyrinths. Yeah, I really did give up on this. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. This is the best I could do. Gary doesn't really do much in the show. Like, I think he shoots laser beams at one point, but that's it. And I am not working with just that. All right, his personality is pretty much empty. This is the best I could do. I don't know how to do music in Magic the Gathering. That's what I would have done if I could, but I'm not sure how that translates. And all right, and his flavor text reads, "Nothing is impossible through music," which is what he said to his brother as he killed him for like 0 reason. He threw him into the sun or something. All right, he's a 1/3. All right, then let's move on to the next one. Up next, we have Death. Death. I actually thought about this one in the shower, just like I think about death a lot in the shower too. But yeah. This is like one of the best cards that I have designed. I feel like this would be like make for a really fun game of Magic the Gathering. He is a 3 black legendary creature god. At the beginning of each upkeep, choose a creature an opponent controls. You and that player choose between destroy, -X, and sacrifice. If you and your opponent choose the same effect, you lose 1 life. If your opponent chooses a different effect than you did, apply one of the unchosen effects upon the creature you chose and draw a card. X is the amount of swamps you control. You guys get all that? Did you guys get all that? All right, so basically you choose a creature, and there's 3 different ways you can destroy that creature. If you and your opponent both gets the same thing, then that creature does not die. And if you and your opponent gets different things, then the creature does die. In the way that you picked, or no, you get to choose after. But this is basically supposed to show, like in the show, regular show, Death goes around, like sometimes he tells people how they're gonna die, and he told Muscle Man, and Muscle Man basically was able to power through it, like he was able to power through it with love, basically. Like his wife Starla, who came, and it was a hot dog eating contest, and his wife came over and basically helped him defeat Death by kissing him, and Death was so like appalled that he threw up the hot dogs that was supposed to win him the Muscle Man's soul, i.e. his death. That was a lot to say. I bet you're barely listening to that part, but yeah, so basically you get to pick how the creatures die. You get to play like a little mini game in Magic the Gathering, which I think is pretty fun. I think it could be pretty brief, and you get some card advantage. You get to kill creatures and stuff, and it's fun. It's fun. I like this card. All right, it'll be a fun card to play with, definitely. And flavor text reads, "No, seriously, you're gonna die in a hot dog eating contest." He's a 3/4. All right, that's my favorite one I designed so far in the regular show set. Other than Benson. Up next, we have my poor queen, CJ, second best girl. Oh my gosh, Mordecai did not deserve CJ at all. She is a 1 generic, 1 white, and a blue legendary creature, Cloud Spirit, with flying. She does not fly in the show except for when she becomes in her cloud form, but I decided to just give her flying in any case because she's not too strong. She's not too strong of a commander. Whenever CJ attacks, it gets base power and toughness 4/4, and you may return target creature to its owner's hand. You can return your own creatures for some flicker effects. You can you can do this offensively, to make it return any blockers that your opponents may have to their hands, and that's it. That's all that reads on there. She has a flavor text, "Give me a hug, you loser," and she is a 1/3. The whole base power toughness 4/4 is just for that one time that she got really mad at Mordecai. I think it was actually the first episode they met, and I thought after that Mordecai would never see her again. But little me was pretty surprised when she started showing back up again, consistently, because I was like, yo, she's too mad for you, Mordecai. Like, you need a different girl. Yeah, Mordecai never deserved her. He never did. He needs to get over Margaret. All right, speaking of Margaret, she's up next. All right, we have Margaret, one of the funnier designs I've made, actually. This is a 1 generic, red and 2 white, legendary creature. I did Reporter Bird. I'm pretty sure it's creature type, then job. Bird Reporter. Why'd I say Reporter Bird? Ridiculous. All right. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 4/4 boyfriend token. Sacrifice it at the beginning of your next upkeep. This is this is pretty funny because early on in the earlier seasons, Margaret would always have this like crazy big buff boyfriend, or a boyfriend that was just better than Mordecai in however way. And every time, like the next time we saw Margaret, she would be with a different boyfriend. Like, so that's supposed to represent them being sacrificed and like coming back. So Margaret gets a boyfriend every combat, and he's gone by the next. Like, Margaret was, oh bro, we never needed Margaret. I don't know why Mordecai didn't just go for CJ. Like, come on. Just get her out of your head, bro. I mean, she kind of got something going on in that bra, but like other than that, bro, CJ was better, bro. She was better. And the flavor text reads a pretty funny line. Mordecai, you have to meet my new boyfriend, Slasher. Slasher's a 4/4, and he's gonna beat the heck out of you, Mordecai. All right, yeah, but Margaret, yeah, she's 1/3 reporter bird. Here it is. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty funny design, and you can make you can use the boyfriend as a blocker, as an attacker, whatever you want. He's a meat shield. You could probably get some ETB triggers on other creatures, like whenever tokens enter the battlefield, like other creatures and enchantments and stuff like that. It could get some decent synergies on here with just creating a token every turn. I think there's things that could turn the boyfriend into an angel. It's kind of funny because one of Margaret's boyfriends was named Angel. So, all right, we have Eileen Bashful Barista. I'm pretty proud of that name, by the way. I bet you could tell. This is 2 generic, 1 white and a blue. I was thinking of keeping it mono blue, but I decided against it. Legendary creature, Mole. Did y'all know Eileen was a mole? Read the wiki. She's a mole. I thought she was like a platypus, dude. I did not know. She has that little tail. Do moles have tails like that? Maybe, dude. Maybe. But yeah, the whole joke on her, like her eyesight being really bad, is because moles are blind. So yeah, you get it. Alright, so whenever you search your library or tutor, draw a card. Target creature card in your hand perpetually gets +1/+0. This is supposed to be with like Rigby. Yeah, which is pretty ironic because you can't actually play Eileen in any deck with Rigby as your commander. Oh, can't. Which is good anyway, because it only perpetually puts a creature card in your hand. It only gives your creature card in your hand perpetually +1/+0, which was meant for Rigby. So I guess you could play Eileen in one of the bigger employee decks that I would want to be made, and get some of those effects onto Rigby, you know, and he'll come in not a 0/3, he'll come in a 1/3 or a 2/3 or however many times you did tutor in this deck or game, I guess. And the whole tutor thing is just supposed to be like Eileen tutoring Rigby, like making sure he's better, he's a better person, a smarter man. Eileen was the best girl on that show. I mean, CJ was pretty good. That's why she's second best. CJ isn't second best to Margaret. No. I should have put it like Margaret O. Yeah, as her little description that Magic always gets. No, CJ is only second to Eileen. She's only second to Eileen because Eileen was the most supportive girlfriend. She's pretty smart and fun and all that stuff. So, yeah, she was pretty good for Rigby. Rigby probably didn't deserve her either. Rigby doesn't deserve nothing, bro. He stopped Mordecai from going to college just he wanted him to be a bum with him forever in the park. So yeah, that's a terrible thing to do, Rigby. Really messed up. So yeah, her flavor text reads, it's called Ursa Major, not Ursula Merger. And that's not even it. That's Orion. That is a little scene that I actually had watched while I was making this card, and I was like, oh, I might as well put that in. I don't remember any other Eileen lines. Yep, Eileen is a 2/2, which is stronger than Rigby, kind of. Okay, I mean, we just went through everything. That was part 2 of the regular show Magic Gathering list. That definitely did feel a little bit shorter than it was supposed to be, you know, but I guess it's because we did not have as many cards to go over. Usually it's around 30 minutes. I'm guessing this one's probably going to be like 20, 25. I don't know. I always lose track of time when I'm filming these. But anyway, I'm gonna go see if I can figure something out, editing wise. And I already made a couple of the Phineas and Ferb cards, so yeah, that's gonna be up next. And then we have Rick and Morty. So yeah, hope you guys have fun with that. When it does come out, please like, subscribe, and stay tuned because we're gonna be doing this for quite a while until we run out of IPs, and even then, like we're still going to be going on to anime, and I promise you the anime is not coming anytime soon, because I have a list of IPs I want to do. You can comment down below if you want any different ones. I will prioritize the comments somewhat. I will prioritize the comments, like just to get, if it's one extra set of eyeballs watching, then that's a win for me. You know, I'm glad I made you happy, you know. But yeah, I'll prioritize the comments. So if you have any suggestions, you could put that in. But if I haven't seen the show, like unfortunately, I'm probably not gonna be able to do it as much justice as I would like. But I'll try. Yeah, feel free to leave your little suggestions down in the comments, and like, subscribe, and stuff, and stay scheming or keep dreaming. Thanks for watching.
Psalm chapter 46, verse 1 through 3. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of sea, though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof.